Thank you. I'd like to address the organizers of this conference, please. So he was talking about racist jokes earlier and how that is good to build rapport with people, but he used a different ending to that.
Sorry? Can I have the bag?
Why?
Because that's just like... Okay.
I'm just going to finish off what he was saying in a different audience, right? So he was saying...
Are you asking a question?
No, but you gotta ask.
We were very friendly already, but not really. But then I risked and told him, it's a horrible thing, I warn you. Is it true that you blacks, have a big penis, But that would... I'm sorry, do you want to stop? This is who you invited here.
Oh, go for it.
So I'm finishing up with what he said. Is it true that you blacks, have a big penis? No. But that you can even more it so that if you have it on your leg above your knee and a fly, you can smash it.
We know it.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you,
I don't know the quote.
The organizers that given his racist statements, given his misogynist statements, given his most recent statements against the refugees in Europe, how much money was it that you guys paid for him to come here, and why is it that you want to bring this kind of discourse to left?
I'd like to speak to that actually, because I looked at, and a number of us looked at all of the things that critics were talking about, and I have to say, I think that there's certain, and listen, I think you're clear that there's a lot of provocation in the things that you're saying. You say things to be provocative, but...
Like the N-word?
Yeah,
We should be able to say that when people accept us?
I think there's a, listen, no, hold on, I want to say something. I think there's a subtlety that the critiques are missing and that has animated this entire conversation so far and should continue to animate it. It's been at a really cool level, and it's just, this is just not, this kind of critique takes things out of context and misses the subtlety.
So what context is it okay to say the N-word? What context is it okay to say those things?
Don't read his quotes out of context.
What context is it okay to say that?
The book. You know the context. You know the context. What about that context changes? You know the context. You're educated in this answer.
So he's going to respond and you go next. I'm sorry. Okay, everybody settle down. We're going to have a response.
My friendship with African-American convention.
Okay, everybody quiet.
Can I answer? I would love to answer.
Guys, come on. Our guest wants to respond to the question from the audience, so let's listen.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, perfect. I could have gone here step by step. For example, on women, quote from me, which allegedly is anti-feminist. What renders a report of a raped woman or any other narrative of a trauma truthful is its very factual unreliability, its confusion, its inconsistency. Well, every specialist for rape will confirm you to this. It's a simple fact. And it's used regularly. I'm talking here about, I've spoken with doctors who were dealing with victims of rape in Balkan War in the early 90s. The fact is this one, that, of course, when women are extremely vulnerable, traumatized, and they report on their experience, of course, they get caught into inconsistencies as a rule and so on. My point is exactly that. The fact that, of course, the woman is traumatized, or a man, that if you don't get a perfect, cold, objective narrative, that you should not hold this against the woman. Because when you are, this is all I mean, that the traumatic impact is demonstrated through the very fact that you are caught into it, that you cannot report on it objectively, and so on and so on. That's where anti-feminism is here, I don't see. Above quote, Zizek explains that opening our hearts to welcome from imperial will make things worse for the refugees, that we should not just enlighten them, that we should live together with. The idea is not that we should, but rather, this is again, first, opening our hearts to welcome refugees. This is, for me, total stupidity to say in Europe, because you see sentimentalization. Sorry, it's not a matter of hearts. What are you talking about? It's a matter of their of their basic rights, if you love them or not. That's my point. Oh my God, but they are nice people. Sorry, they are people like us. Ah, you mean if they are not nice, they shouldn't come, or what? No, everybody should come. That's my point. No, they don't need opening our fucking hearts. They need concrete help, my God. And much more than just opening Europe. I repeat this in my book, this double blackmail. They need Europe to stop doing interventions in neo-colonial exploitation, which is the true source. Without doing that, this is what humanitarians like. It's not a problem what we are doing. Now we have refugees. We should open our hearts and everything will be okay. What? That millions will come from Syria and then everything will be okay. No, it's not that we should leave this to later. Of course, we should also do today, on a much larger scale, humanitarian help. But what I'm saying is, and this is the example I give, what is happening in Africa? Beneath all these apparent ethnic hatred struggles, it's usually Western companies and so on behind it. For example, Congo, it's not a heart of darkness in the sense of being excluded from international community. There are few countries in the world more included into international market than today's Congo. It's a totally ruined country. That's the tragic news. The best thing that could have happened to Congo is, with a magic trick, all their mineral wealth disappears. They would be purer, but I can guarantee you all the terror, the nightmare would have stopped, and so on and so on. So, what I say is this. Instead of asking these more fundamental questions, is this transformation into a problem of opening our hearts and so on and so on. No, again, they don't need our sympathy. They did concrete acts from us, to help them materially now, and especially to change the situation. And here, I think we should ask also unpleasant questions. For example, what about Saudi Arabia? Why? I don't mean this in this simple sense, we should not receive them, Saudi Arabia should, but listen, isn't this a big symptom of something? Just south of the war area of Iraq, Syria, we have a couple of extremely rich Arab countries, let's name them, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Emirates, which simply don't accept refugees. And they are total allies of the West. The greatest abomination is, for me, Saudi Arabia, which is at the same time religiously pretends to be fundamentalist religious country, but it's really a big mafia financial family group. The model for Saudi Arabia is a large family with the king as, how do you call it, capo del Capio, or whatever, you know. Like, we should, this is what makes me nervous. All the problem is now on Europe, are you open enough, and so on. But what about all that goes around? When we will start to change that? Let's go on. This is the best one. This is wonderful. This discusses Boko Haram. Now you will say, if you are a racist, I note here at least you will say, oh, those stupid niggers. So, but I cannot believe it. Is it not clear that I here imitate what a racist would have said? Now you will say, if you are a racist, and then comes. So I'm mocking the racist. About that example from radio, probably true, I don't deny it. This was an extreme example, yes. But I still like that example. That about, you blacks, don't you, your penis, and so on and so on. It was consciously an extremely dirty joke. And all I can tell you is, maybe it's problematic for you. Not only it was not problematic, I will not name him, for the guy, black, with whom I was talking, his reaction was that he embraced me and told me, now you can call me a nigger. And then he explained to me, this means I truly accept you, and so on and so on. Sorry, it was an extreme example. The only thing I can absolutely guarantee you is that it didn't bother him, because I will rather not go into how it was extreme vulgarity, I admit it, how the conversation went on then, which was, you should have heard him then, the black guy, what he told, and so on and so on. You may find it problematic ethically. You don't talk about that. I allow you to say this. What I'm saying is that if there ever was a moment of non-racism, it was that one. Because that's precisely the strength of racism is not, we don't use the N-word. No, this is your white liberal anti-racism. That you just use the but in such a way that it will be clear to everyone, including, especially, to the one you are talking to, that you don't mean it, it's not at all in that sense. And that's my problem with this cleansing of language. Like, torture becomes enhanced interrogation technique. I can guarantee you, soon, rape will become enhanced seduction technique. I mean, sorry, I talk too much, but again, I'm totally defending this. I claim that that's how you may find it problematic or whatever, but certainly it is not in any sense racist. A usually politically correct guy who uses all the correct terms, African Americans and so on, whatever, never black, is, as a rule, the way I know them, much more racist. I know most of them who attack me for being politically incorrect, and then I see when they meet a black guy who is not part of their excluded academic domain, you can see they simply, they don't communicate. It's another world. I always ask people who are bothered by this, are they ready? Let me give you another example, which is even more brutal, but I love it. From India. I was in a car with a guy, taxi driver, who I later learned was part of that, how's it called, Naxalite, the communist guerrilla. And he heard me talking with my publisher in English and got it that we talk about politics. So he turned through as a translator to my publisher and told me, I will show you a picture of Gandhi. Can you tell me what is your association with this picture? It was the well-known picture of late Gandhi with the big stick and tunic walking from one city to another. Now, this was an ordinary guy, so I knew exactly what he wanted. Because, that's big news for you. Poor, untouchable in India, they hate Gandhi. Gandhi is upper class stuff. Why? Gandhi did say to untouchables, you are also children of God. But this is a proper fascist solution. Like, also you, the poor, for every caste there is a proper place. It was this fascist. Okay. I knew he wanted for me something extremely obscene. And, okay, with my dirty mind, I guessed it. I told him, he's approaching a village, this big stick is a call there, get ready for a boy there to fuck me in my ass. If not, I will have to fuck myself with this stick. He stopped the car, the guy stopped the taxi, went to me, embraced me, and said, now we can talk. And then we talked for 3 hours, not male chauvinist exchange of dirty jokes. We talk about very serious politics, but you see, that extremely vulgar remark, but sorry, I was among ordinary people, and obviously I am one among them, worked wonderfully as an icebreaker. You use this term, no? Icebreaker, yes. It's not that never attraction. It's not the basic instinct icebreaker. No, it's yeah.
It's a
The
good
good guy,
guy.
yeah. No, what I'm saying is that you see what I meant. He wanted this ordinary Naxalite taxi driver. He wanted for me a confirmation that I'm not some kind of a white snob or whatever. And again, that's the important thing. It wasn't an opening to male chauvinism or whatever, or homophobia or whatever. No, after that point, our conversation was extremely polite and so on, and I was surprised by the political wisdom of that guy. But obviously, he needed this kind of a obscene exchange as a
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Zizek.
Don't say something more wrong, no?
Actually, no, I just heard they're literally going to come in and arrest us all. I would let this go all night. I'm not even kidding. I put it off as long as
Who will come and arrest us?
I don't know. I just hear the man's going to come and they're like physically evict each. Should we stick around and say, no, I'm kidding.
Donald Trump is coming. Donald
So
Trump.
my apologies to those folks. who
Donald
stood
Trump
in
is
line.
coming.
That's what people accuse me of. As a liberal hypocrite, I would say, let's leave quickly, and then let's complain, but why didn't we have it? No, you know what's my problem? It may surprise you, but although I am a kind of psychoanalyst, never practical. Why not? Can you imagine me? Can you imagine me patiently listening to another guy for more than 1 minute? So I'm not a practicing.
Silence for me.
Okay, with pleasure. Pleasure. No, but no, sorry. I just wanted to answer. Sorry that I think that psychoanalysis